Hey, my name is Alex Gras. I'm the Director of Strategy and Business Development here at the Cannon. We're joined again with Spence here. Piggybacking off of the last video where we talked a little bit about Bitcoin versus everybody else. One of the leading candidates of everybody else is Ethereum. Can we kind of dive into that a little bit?
Yeah, we think of Bitcoin and Ethereum as really the blue chips of crypto. And so if Bitcoin is the internet of money, conceptually, you could think of Ethereum as the evolution of the internet. So Ethereum really started off as Bitcoin 2.0. That's kind of its first narrative. If you think back to 6-7 years ago, but fast forward, it's found a different narrative now, and the market has really decided that Ethereum is the base layer of DeFi, or decentralized finance.
And so can you dive into decentralized finance as well? I mean, you hear that term DeFi a lot. How does it relate to Ethereum?
Yeah, there's a lot of acronyms we take for granted in the crypto sphere. DeFi, or decentralized finance, is this idea that a lot of the traditional financial infrastructure can be distributed, can be disrupted and replaced by a new solution. So DeFi really replaces a lot of the kind of day-to-day tools that you need in financial services with decentralized tools that really could help millions and millions, not billions of people that are unbanked. So it's something that we take for granted, living in the States, is we have access to a wide array of financial services. So we're very fortunate to have all of those resources available to us. There's billions of people around the globe that don't have access to those same financial services. And so DeFi really comes in, and not only can it help people in the States, but really people around the world.
Awesome. So at the Cannon, we try to really find that connective tissue between a lot of different elements of the innovation ecosystem. I kind of correlate what you're describing into being the connective to the cryptocurrency or Ethereum or the decentralization DeFi, being the connective tissue amongst people from all over the world. Is that kind of the same sense that you feel out of that DeFi concept?
Yeah, what kind of the first principles thinking here is that peer-to-peer distributed networks can actually be as valuable and more valuable than centralized solutions. So whether we're talking about Bitcoin or Ethereum, that's kind of what I think of as the first principles thinking that makes these things successful at scale.
Awesome. And so you mentioned Ethereum kind of built off of Bitcoin. What do you find are the different cryptocurrencies or maybe DeFi elements that are building off of Ethereum's model?
Yeah, so Ethereum is really an ecosystem. It really serves as a sound base layer for innovation, venture, and new companies and new crypto projects to build on top of. So a lot of what's useful in the crypto sphere is built on top of Ethereum. Some quick examples would be some of my favorite stablecoins actually operate on Ethereum as a base layer, and those are things that I use every day to transact and live.
Stablecoin, what's that?
Yeah, it's a great question. Stablecoin, another term that we really take for granted. In general, a stablecoin is something that's pegged to the underlying value of another asset. So the most popular stablecoins are pegged to the US dollar, but there's other examples. You could, for example, peg the value of a stablecoin to gold or a stock or any number of things that this digital ecosystem makes possible.
So being a decentralized finance element, what is the value of then pegging it to something that is in a structured financial ecosystem?
Yeah, so the value of a stable coin in the form of something that's pegged to a US dollar is now I can live day to day with transactions that are happening on the Ethereum network as opposed to the slower, entrenched, and more, walled infrastructure. Right, so traditional financial services has a lot of barriers and gateways. We're fortunate here in the States to have a number of options and competitors to choose from, but not everyone around the world has that same fortune. And so it really, DeFi eliminates some of those barriers and breaks down some of those walls so that everyone around the world can participate in a new financial ecosystem.
That's fantastic. We do take I guess it is a privilege to kind of be here, and sometimes we do take those things for granted. So I appreciate you giving us a little insight into more of the DeFi structure. And we've dove into a lot of concepts that are more macro scale. The next video we'll talk about a little bit more granularly about how to execute all the topics that Spence and Brooks have been speaking about today.